Hey guys, Tinker Taylor here today, bringing you a nearly said Pokemon Build Series challenge. It's not a challenge. I do it every time. I'm gonna do it every time, I swear. No, today I am bringing you an A to Z challenge build. So this is a little series that I had fun and decided to come up with a couple years ago. I think it was 3-4 years ago. I still can't remember. I think it was 3 years ago. I think this is my third year doing it, but yeah, it's a little challenge where every day in February, well, not every day, the first 26 days of February, I come up with a build idea, and each day is the consecutive letter of the English alphabet. So yeah, I don't know, I kind of just go around having a bit of fun picking out these different builds and trying to, work my way through them and whatnot. So yeah, I do it in February in 26 days, but I also run it as a challenge from July to December, where each week there is a new letter and you get to build based off that letter. And it's not just building, I've now opened it to CAS, which is, I don't know, something kind of fun and interesting. I don't really know or do CAS, but I know a lot of other people do, so I wanted to make sure to make it as, I guess, inclusive as possible. So yeah, if you do CAS and you want to participate, you absolutely can. There are a few things that I want to change with the challenge and how it's run, because yeah, this will be my third year running it for you guys, and I don't know, there's just some things that I don't really enjoy about it, about like the running the challenge. The first year Instagram ate a bunch of posts, and so this year I was like, well, why don't I do it over on Discord? And there were some people who were like, yeah, totally into it, but other people who might not have realized it was over on Discord. So I think I'm gonna have to go by the hashtag from now on. You can submit it to me however you like, but I think I'm gonna go by the hashtag on the gallery. That's the word I was looking for. So if you use the gallery hashtag, you will be a-okay, and yeah, it'll be fine. So each week will have its own individual hashtag. I had rooms and builds separate because I was like, well, people might want to do just a room or just a build or whatever. But I'm thinking I might change it to just either build or CAS, because otherwise there's just too many hashtags to sort through. And I'm supposed to be streaming the results over on Twitch. And there are a couple of reasons why this year I'm not. I do plan on still doing that in the future. It's just that, yeah, this year, I am extremely busy. I don't even know how I did it the last year. But yeah, extremely busy, and it's very overwhelming, but yeah, that's one thing. Another thing is there weren't that many entries this year, so I didn't want to have a stream every day where it didn't last for very long. It takes a lot of energy out of me to stream, and I enjoy it, so I want to make sure that I'm doing it, and there's not necessarily just like, yes, there is a reason to do it and showing off the builds, but like I said, I'm extremely busy, and I just, to be able to put that all together and run it in the background and figure out what order I'm doing them in and promoting it and all this other stuff, I unfortunately do not have the time nor the energy for that. So that time and energy is being put into improving my build skills and working on editing videos and fixing tech issues. Let me tell you, I am having so many tech issues right now. It feels like every single time I fix one, another one pops up. And thankfully Onion has been helping me a lot. So originally I was really struggling with being able to open OBS. It would crash maybe once a week, and so I changed a couple of settings and it stopped crashing. But when I started streaming, it was half an hour behind. So people in chat were like talking to me, but it was things I'd said half an hour ago. And I was co-working, so it was like, it was all silent while I was working, and I was like, that's fine, people are probably like resting, relaxing, doing puzzles, like whatever it is, because I do put a puzzle up for people to do. But then half an hour into the study session, people started responding, and I'm like, no, I said that half an hour ago. So I had to do a complete reinstall of OBS, and it's currently also telling me that there's still some issues, but I haven't fully set it up yet. That is going to be a later me problem, because I don't know how it all works. I've looked up tutorials and things like that for some of the basics, and it's fixed some of the issues that I've been having. I didn't realize that you could add the same, like for example, the same microphone many times, or the same, like if you wanted to add Spotify, you could add it multiple times in, like it's Spotify you're adding, but you're adding it in multiple times so that you can change one and it doesn't change the other. If you just add the same one over and over again, whatever changes you make to it makes it to all of them. So I'm definitely, making sure that I work on picking and sorting out the things that actually make sense and actually, just work together nicely. So long story short, I had to completely uninstall, reinstall it, and like I said, set it all up again, but it seems to be working a little bit better. There are a few settings that I know that I haven't finished setting up and fixing, because it's telling me right now that it's having a few issues with encoding overloading. I've read into it a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what it means, but there's some parts of it where it's like, you should be worried, and other parts where you shouldn't. And there is a setting that I haven't changed that I plan on changing in the future. I say the future, like I'm gonna change it once I'm done recording. Because there's just some random things that I don't understand how or why they're happening, but again, thanks to Onion, he is like, you just need to do this or you just need to do that, and suddenly it's working again. So very, very thankful to have Onion on my side and to be able to get this to work. But anyway, that's probably enough of rambling on about tech issues. The build I'm working on, as you can probably see, is a bathhouse build. Apparently it's very Roman inspired. I will be honest with you guys, I get confused between Roman and Greek sometimes, so I didn't want to say which style it was, but I've been told apparently it looks very Romanesque. And I love this skylight, absolutely love it. So if you want to know how to make this skylight the way I have, I can verbally explain it, or you can just go back and rewatch what I did. But essentially what it is that you put two of the triangle pieces on the end, and you put one in the middle, and the one in the middle you add glass to it. So have it be the same length, the same pitch, the same everything, like identical. I mean, you can make it thinner if you only want a smaller, thinner skylight, or you can make it wider if you want a thicker sort of skylight. And then you get the half triangle one, and you, again, make it the same pitch, same everything that you want as the outside triangle, so not the glass bit, but the outside triangle bits. And instead of having it be the same depth as the outer triangle pieces, you drag it so that left to right it's still the same size as the glass piece, but front to back it's way shorter. And because it's at the same pitch, it should sit nicely on top, and if it doesn't, all you have to do is slightly lower the glass roof. I think if you hold shift, it will let you minutely move it down, and it just sits so nicely in there, and I think it looks fantastic in this build. Let me tell you, anytime I build with CC, it is my favorite thing in the entire world. It looks phenomenal, and that I don't think that's because of my building skills necessarily. I think that's because of the CC. It looks phenomenal. Like, don't get me wrong, the in-game items also do look really cool, especially the stuff that they're coming out with now. Absolutely phenomenal. There are so many things in this, like, in the newer stuff that I'm like, wow, I'm in love with this. But CC just takes it to a whole nother level. Let me tell you, I would love to be a CC creator. Absolutely. I've already started drawing windows and doors that I want to create. I don't know how to create them. I've looked up how to create CC, and it's a lot. But like, yeah, to actually go and make it's very intense and time consuming, and you need to know how to use Blender, which is ironically what I edit videos on. Initially would recommend it, but now starting to feel like I should change to something else because it does glitch out just a tiny bit, which is a little annoying. I'm thinking, yeah, of changing maybe to DaVinci Resolve because free stuff is good. We like free. But yeah, it's just, I mad respect to CC creators, absolutely mad respect. If I could, I would be paying CC creators that I use the same way that I pay EA for packs. Like, I absolutely would, no doubt in that, because they're phenomenal and amazing and an inspiration. And same with modders, not just CC creators, but modders like Twisted Mexi, easily would pay $1 bajillion just to have access to 1% of that brain power. Just 1%. Do you know how amazing that would be? I think it would be absolutely phenomenal. But unfortunately, yeah, you can't pay to get inside people's brains. It's not really a thing that exists. But yeah, every time I build CC, it just makes me so happy. I purposely don't lean into it very heavily, because when I do fall into it, I fall into it hard. Like, absolutely disgustingly hard. It's pretty bad because I will just build with it until I can't build anymore. But that is why for the Pokemon build series, I don't build with CC, because it's going to be a very, very, very long series, and I'm going to be at this for a very, very, very long time. So it gives me a lot of builds to not use CC with, and I want that. I want to be able to learn how to build within the game, and yeah, like, not be stuck building things that only have CC in them. I feel like dabbling in the CC, good. Being solely a CC builder, I mean, I know there are people out there who are, and beautiful, amazing, wonderful builders, but I know a lot of people don't like using CC or don't have the capabilities of using CC or anything like that. So yeah, I definitely just want to make sure that the stuff that I use and build is accessible as possible. I want people to be able to use my builds. I want people to be able to download them and play with them, mess around with them, change them, use them for machinimas, whatever people want. I'm not upset if people don't want to use it, but I do build in order for people to be able to use it. Sometimes I do get a little clutter happy, sometimes I don't. It really just depends on how I'm feeling, but I do try and keep builders in mind, game players, legacy players, machinima makers. I tried to keep all you guys in mind, because at the end of the day, I'm never going to play with these builds. Like, I'm never going to play with them. Apologies, I just dropped the pen and I saw the mic spike into a massive red zone. Still playing around with my mic settings. I might just turn it down a little bit, and hopefully that helps. But yeah, it's I'm not gonna play with these builds. I have zero desire to. I mean, one day I will play the game. One day. Not today. And I know a couple of videos ago I talked about wanting to play the game, but I love building. It makes me so happy, especially when I come out with builds like this. I mean, again, it's all thanks to CC that I'm happy with it. I absolutely 100% guarantee you that if I tried to build this, or I'd say almost anyone, I feel like there's a few people who could definitely make it look this good without CC, but I'm not one of them. So I definitely appreciate and love CC more than anything in the entire world. It's a blessing. It honestly is. I think if it were to be more accessible to more people would build in this game, more people would play in this game, more people would be happy with the game. And I understand why EA might not want that to happen, and I understand why people might not want that to happen. You know, I get that it could be a thing where people start having to start pay for CC permanently instead of getting it for free if you are patient. You know, I get a lot of it, I really do, but I do wish it was more accessible to more people. I understand that, you know, some people's computers can't handle it, that console players can't play it at all, some people just don't want to have to go to sites that they don't necessarily trust, which I totally get that. I don't trust a lot of sites. In fact, I only use people who I know are reputable, which can suck for the little guy. You know, if you're a beginning CC creator, it can suck to not have people use you because they don't know if you're trustworthy or not. And I totally get that. And I do feel bad. But I'm also very, like, I won't click on anything if I don't trust it, or if it even remotely feels dodgy. Like, if I get an email from my bank, I never click on the email. Even if I think it's from my bank, I will go to where my bank is. Like, I know that this is my bank, I know this is the website, or I know this is the app, and I will go through that way just to be sure. I've never had an email that... I don't think I've ever had a bank email scan. I don't think I've ever had... To be honest, I don't really answer my emails all that often. But even when the bank, you know, when they send you your statement online, I'll still go check through either the website by manually looking up the website or going into the app. I will not... I just won't do it. Because I'm not very good with technology. I could easily be scammed. Maybe not easily, but I feel perhaps slightly more gullible or unsure, not gullible, I would say unsure about technology compared to maybe the average person, but I'm also very vigilant and aware of my surroundings and the things that are going on within it. I know that people do try and do bad things, and so yeah, I definitely 100% will not click on anything if I'm not sure of it. You know, if let's say Onion, my roommate, sent me something, I'd click on that, I trust him. But if a friend of Onion's, who I don't really know, sent me something, I would manually look up the place to be able to, like, you know, let's say they send me like, hey, we're all going to this restaurant, I'll just look up the restaurant. I will not click on any link people send me, really. I don't know, I feel like in this day and age it's so easy to get tricked. So I guess I am a little hyper-vigilant, but I guess that's also better than being scammed, so I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week. But that long roundabout way of me saying is I understand why people don't necessarily want to use CC, especially with, like, there's a couple of, I mean, it's the same with mods. There's been a couple of, actually I think it's just mods that have been found to be people being malicious with them. But even still, I'm still very, very safe about what I do and who I download. Like, if I don't know the CC creator directly, I must have a recommendation from a friend. There's a few people who I've been recommended, and I've looked them up, and, you know, they seem reputable and pretty cool, and I've seen them using the CC. And if I use that CC, it's because I like it. If I don't, it's because I don't like the CC, not because I don't trust them. So, you know, I think yeah, if you're a beginner CC, don't give up. A beginner CC creator. I say don't give up. I think anybody, if they put their mind and heart to it, could definitely become a CC creator. And I can understand why people would be a bit conscious. It's not the word I'm looking for, but cautious. That's the word I was looking for. A bit cautious about it. You know, there are a few people who I've met through streaming who make CC, and I would download it. I've hung out with them enough to kind of feel safe enough to download it. Problem is, it's gameplay CC. It's CAS CC. I don't I don't do CAS or gameplay, so, you know, it's probably CC I'll never download, but I feel like if I were to play the game, I don't think I would get CAS CC. Like, maybe some outfits, but I also don't care that much about, like, if I'm playing the game, it's gonna be a fun, silly little challenge. I don't think I'm gonna be playing to have CC, CAS CC. But don't get me wrong, I have seen some CAS CC that is just absolutely phenomenal. Like, the clothing, oh my goodness. There's everything in the entire planet that you could ever want. I'm not a game player. I don't really do that. I also don't care about the makeup on my Sims. I'll be real with you. Before I got Seriously Sims save file, I would just randomize my Sims, and I didn't care if they were a masculine shape or a feminine shape. I don't care. I just went in, randomized the name, randomized traits, just all of that, and went from there. Like, I just started using them for whatever I needed. Sometimes I used to take screenshots with them. Sometimes I just needed a new world, a new save file. So yeah, just completely random people that I was just like, I don't know, that looks good. And for the game, it's not the gameplay, it's the challenge things that they've got going on, where you do you play with the Sims and you can unlock certain things. The whatever that's called. I just used one of my randomized Sims, and I'm not gonna lie, I maxed out his cheats. His needs, not his needs, his skills. I mean, sometimes I do cheat his needs as well. And I just don't really care. Like, I want to get in and get it over and done with. I kind of miss the daily login version of it. Like, the daily login version was just you logged in and you got it, and that was fine with me, because I didn't have to feel pressured to... Actually, I think it was a weekly login. But yeah, I didn't have to feel pressured to do all these tasks that I didn't really care about. Like, I don't care about making my Sim cook and grow vegetables or whatever it was. But I get, like, some people really do love to play the game, so it's definitely aimed at those sorts of people, but I wish there was, you know, you didn't have to play, because it takes away from my build time. I want to build. I'm kind of a little bit addicted to building. It's seriously so much fun. Like, looking at this build, I just want to get in and finish the next build, because that one's not done, but I just want to get in and build and have fun. And yeah, when they're like, you need to come in and actually play the game, I'm like, do I have to? Do I have to? Like, can I maybe not? But yeah, I just get in and kind of speedrun it, which I guess is okay. If I'm getting free stuff, I'll do it. Like, free stuff in a now free game that's free to do. I don't have to pay for these new items. Cool, I'll take it. I'll do it. It's just, yeah, I don't like the idea of having daily logins, but if I had to choose between daily login and playing the game, I would pick daily login. Any day of the week. And I know a lot of people aren't going to get these items because they don't want to support it, and by not supporting it, they're kind of like standing up against it, and I totally get that, totally respect that. But as a builder, I want these items. I want them a lot. I don't know, it kind of frustrates me that we have to do it, but, you know, for free, it's free. I'll take it. But anyway, this build has taken me forever to do. Okay, so when I went to record the video, I meant to record it yesterday, And turns out I had only partially edited the video. I do editing in stages, and it's a little different each time. I have a standard way of doing it, and then I have the way I did it this time. So my standard way of doing it is putting all the footage in, and then, oh, it doesn't even have to be all the footage, but putting footage in and scrubbing through it so that I can see when all of the random breaks are, if there's glitches, if there are saves or anything like that. Are there moments where I'm just sitting there talking? Are there moments where stream stuff pops up? In this one, there's multiple times where I show Discord and the inspo photos for this build. And so I go in and cut that all out. But as I cut out a section, so if you have one section of video and you cut it in half so that you can cut out a little chunk in the middle, you've now got the left half of the video and the right half of the video. So I will go through, and wherever I cut it, I'll speed the section up to the left because it's already done and dealt with. And then I'll go through and speed up the next, like if I make any cuts, I'll speed up anything to the left of the cut and then go through what's left on the right and just continue working my way through that way. So, you know, if I do need to take a break or if I need to close it down and come back to it the next day or whatever, I can do that. I can close it down and come back the next day. But what I did for this was I went through the entire footage. I just looked at the footage, I scrubbed through it, cut out all the parts, but I did not speed it up. And because I didn't do that, I wasn't sure if I'd actually gone through and like cut all the things out properly or not. So for the first maybe, I would say maybe in a minute's time, that from the start to in about a minute, that section I was like, yeah, that looks pretty fine because there's a bunch of cuts in it. There are a bunch of bits that are like extremely small, so you can tell that I've cut out a lot of things. But then yeah, from like then onwards, I was like, I'm not sure because there are some longer parts. I don't know if that just means that I did more building and less in interruptions, or if I just didn't edit it. So for about half of the time, I needed to go through and check all over again. So it took me like 2 hours to go through. It was about 4 hours of footage. It took me about 2 hours to go through because, yeah, again, the first half didn't take me that long. It probably took me maybe half an hour to do the first half of it, because I was like, this has definitely been gone through. You can tell because there's so many cuts and so many bits and pieces. I'll just double check to make sure. And then by the time I got to the end of it, it was like, do I need to cut this part out? Do I need to cut this part out? Maybe this bit, I'll shorten this bit here, get rid of that. So it took me much longer to get that second half done. And when I saw how long this video was going to be, I was like, do I need to go back through and cut it all over again? Like, change and edit the video all over again to make sure that it's not as long? I don't know. Okay. And I went over and over and over in my head about what I should do, and it turned into a 50-minute video. So yeah, we've still got like another 20 something minutes to go, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've really run out of things to say. Normally my videos kind of end around here, so you know, I've done pretty well so far, but yeah, just not gonna lie to you guys, I've run out of things to say. But this part of the build here, actually, I really started to love this build once we got to this point. You know, once I got all of the lounge chairs in and the decor and all that sort of stuff, I loved it. I thought it looked amazing. There are a few things obviously I need to change and fix up, and I'm not gonna lie to you, the archways where the bath is, I didn't fix that up on stream or on video at all. I actually do it off stream. So yeah, there's a few things that I need to go in and adjust and fix, and you know, I need to resave and re-upload this build. I'm not gonna lie, there's also a few Pokemon builds that I need to upload because I'm kind of doing it once a week. I don't know how Little Simsy does it, where she uploads basically a build a day on the gallery. I don't actually know if she does though. I don't know if she uploads it every day or if she just uploads the builds when they're done. Because if I did the builds when they were done, you'd have a couple from one day, and then there'd be a few days, and then you'd have another couple, and I just don't feel like doing that. So instead, I'm saving them up for a week, and then posting a bunch at a time, because, you know, that's totally different. Instead of having them when they're done, they're just at a different time. I don't know. I'm going to be real with you guys. No idea what I should be doing there, but I guess I'll figure it out as we go. I did check one time. I had to upload like 10 videos, and then I went to the gallery to have a look, and it was just like filled with my builds, and I didn't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of filling the gallery with my builds. I think everybody's builds should be there, and everybody's builds should be seen. So yeah, I did not like that. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and upload them maybe every couple of days. Or like if I'm in Sims, I'll upload them in the morning. If I'm not in Sims, I'll upload them next morning. Just to try and not saturate the gallery with my builds. I don't like doing that. I don't at all. But the good thing about the A to Z challenge is if you don't have CC turned on, you won't see it. So I don't feel as bad with the CC builds doing that. But yeah, the A to Z, the Pokemon builds are not CC, so they're gonna take just a little bit of time to work. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. They're gonna be a few builds that I upload, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I don't know, it's still really fun to do that challenge. I've been keeping up with the builds and stuff, like keeping track of them, and just having a look at like how many builds, the completion status, how many different lots I've been using, the lot sizes. So apparently my most popular lot size is 30 by 20. That is 41% of the builds, which I think is kind of a little bit insane, but also really, really good that I have a good little, I say a good little spread, but like a good amount that are smaller sized. You know, there's not actually all that many that are, I think my next biggest is 20 by 20 and 50 by 40. They're both 12.9%. So, you know, over, actually if I add the 50 by 40, no, that's already in there, never mind. The next one down is 30 by 30. But yeah, like that's most of the builds there. I'd say that's 75% of the builds are those four sizes. But the worlds is a bit more interesting because the highest percentage is 12.9%, and that's split between Henford on Bagel, Copperdale, Chestnut Ridge, and Oasis Springs. So you know what, that's like, what, half-ish, just under half, in 4 worlds as well. But then, yeah, I do also have Sulani, Newcrest, Salvadorado, Tartosa, Del Sol Valley, Strangerville, Evergreen Harbour, Moonwood Mill, Tomarang, Ravenwood, and San Sequoia. So those are all the worlds I've used so far, and that's just for the first 31 builds, which is apparently 20.53% of Gen 1 and 3% of Gen... all of them. Of all of them. But yeah, I don't know, I'm very, very keen and excited because of the fact that I started early on this challenge. The Pokemon build series is something I'm definitely going to be able to work on quietly in the background. You know, by the end of today, I'm hoping to have at least tomorrow's build done, if not the next 2 after that, because those 2 only need like minuscule, like absolutely minuscule touches to them. One of them is one room that needs to be finished, and I've already kind of half done it. I might have actually already done it and not remembered that I've done it, so you know, it could actually 100% be done already. And then yeah, the other one I just need to figure out a few more things, bit more landscaping, and yeah, there's just a few empty bits, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of flesh those out. But yeah, I'm hoping by the end of today to have those 3 builds done, and then by the end of tomorrow, I think I'd figured out that I could technically get up to J if I just didn't sleep, basically, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But there's just so much stuff that I have already done, and looking at my calendar, it is fantastic to be able to see like so many things just done and gone. Like, I don't have to look at them anymore. They're done, they're finished, they're out of the way. And it's really, really motivating to see that. So yeah, definitely hoping by the end of today I can have tomorrow and the day after's builds done, and maybe even the videos and shorts and stuff like that. That's a little less likely. I definitely will have tomorrow's done. That's something I kind of feel like I really have to do. But yeah, I don't know, just be really exciting to get a lot of these done. I mean, I could almost finish this entire week if I didn't sleep, if I didn't do a bunch of things, I could absolutely do it, but I'm not doing that. I am definitely sleeping. I am somebody who loves a good sleep schedule, loves a good old nap time. I don't know, I've always been taught as a kid to sleep well, to prioritize my sleep, and it's something I always have. I feel like some people just don't choose to do that. I know some people don't have a choice. I know some people find it extremely difficult to sleep. I'm not talking about that group of people, because I fully recognize that some people don't have a choice in it, but I am talking about the people who do choose not to sleep, who choose to stay up and ruin their sleep schedule and then get into like a cycle of bad sleep, which perpetuates bad sleep. I don't know how people can choose to do that. I love good sleep. I love feeling good. I love feeling rested, and you know, I just honestly, I can't comprehend it. And to the people who can't sleep, I wish I didn't have to, so I could send my sleep to all of you guys. Like, just, I wish I could tuck you all in and read you a little bedtime story and help you get to sleep. I've been told that apparently me talking can sometimes put people to sleep, which I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I've been told it should be taken as a compliment, so I'm gonna take it as a compliment, but it's also like, okay, my voice puts people to sleep, interesting. Cool. But yeah, I that's why I wish I could read you all bedtime stories. So I guess I guess I do take it as a compliment. If I can help you all sleep, I'll definitely read you bedtime stories, because I feel like 100% that would be handy to the people who definitely need some sleep. I don't know, it's curious to think that, like, my voice is my everyday voice. I just hear it every day, every time I talk. Sometimes I listen back to my videos. Most of the time I try not to. But, you know, like, that's my voice, and it's kind of odd that people feel sleepy with it. I don't know, again, it's just very, very odd to me. But, you know, I guess if it's something that does help you sleep, then I'm more than happy to continue rambling, to help you sleep. And I mean, this is a 50-minute long video, so hopefully it helps you fall all the way asleep. Also, yeah, this build, there are so many things that, because I didn't have mods installed at the time, I really struggled with. You know, like, trying to place those columns in, I ended up just waiting so that I could put it in later when I reinstalled the mods, because sometimes I do take mods out, sometimes they need updating, you know, just whatever, and other times I take them out because of updates and whatever. Sometimes I take them out because of my computer slowing down. Sometimes I take them out, I don't know. It's usually updates or my computer slowing down. But yeah, I don't know. There's, like, if I had just waited for mods, I could have had this build done so much faster. Because especially with these columns, especially with the exterior, like, trying to put those things all around the wall. Okay, there's going to be a little bit of a weird glitch between what I was just saying and what I'm saying now, but that's because for some reason when I was recording the video, the audio for this video, it decided to randomly stop. So for the last, I don't know how to count, 20-ish minutes, I don't know. It just got rid of them. I say 20, it's probably more like 11. Yeah, it just randomly decided to not record that audio, and I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that, but, you know, I'm just gonna come back and re-record it anyway. I'm gonna talk about random stuff because I can't remember what I did and didn't talk about. I know the last thing I was talking about was the mods and how I should have installed them. And I have thankfully reinstalled them since. But yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with this build. I don't know how many times I've already said that, but it was something that was really challenging to me at some points because this is not my strong suit of style of build. I'm very good at mediocre builds. I'm very good at, I can't think of the word, like grungy, gross, dirty, filthy builds, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm pretty confident and happy with those styles of builds. I do enjoy, yeah, just kind of making feral little gross cesspits, but it's been a while since I've done that. I also do enjoy, like, industrial vibes. I still can't think of the word. I was trying to think of the word, in another video, and I still, for the life of me, cannot remember what it's called, but it's like, I guess industrial is the closest because it's like all the concrete and the metal, but there's a brutalist, maybe that's the word I'm thinking of. I do enjoy brutalist and industrial. They're two pretty good styles that I've recently really been getting into. I say recently really been getting into, but those are just styles that I do feel very comfortable with. Some styles like what was I doing? Like the suburban homes recently. I've never really done them before, and so I do feel a little uncomfortable with them. But I had a good time, just messing around and playing with them. It was really good to try something new and something different. So yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with those builds, but this is also, yeah, like I was saying, another style of build that I'm not entirely comfortable and confident with. But I feel like I did a pretty good job. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, there's probably a bajillion inaccuracies in it, but there are also probably a bajillion inaccuracies in the rest of the builds that I've done. So, I'm kind of okay with that. I don't necessarily need to be totally historically accurate or perfect or anything like that. But yeah, there are some things that I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like there's some things missing, but I'm not sure. But this build, I don't know. I'm in love with it. I think it's fantastic. I can imagine this being at like maybe some sort of really, really fancy, grand, rich resort where like there's like, the gym and the spa and you're by the ocean and, these luxury rooms. Or you could find this in some really rich guy's backyard. Just, like, oh, I'm gonna go for a swim by the pool, and then they have to walk like a kilometer through their backyard. They probably don't walk, they probably have some like stupid they probably have segways or something where they can just scoot around and just get here as fast as they possibly can, and it's all dandy for them because they don't have to walk anywhere, even though they're going for a swim. Like, if you're exercising, wouldn't it make sense to just, exercise? I'm so confused. But yeah, that's kind of, it's either people who are wanting a nice relaxation spa time or some really rich person who also wants some really nice relaxation spa time. I know it's not a spa, but I imagine like the bath at the end, especially with the bath at the end, I reckon it is the really rich person. They'd go for a swim and then they would soak in the tub. There's a bathroom there and a change room. I don't know why there's so many lounge chairs if there's just one really rich guy who lives with this in his backyard. But, whatever. Rich people do things I don't understand. A lot of times. Like, yeah. You know what? I'm not going to get into it because I could go on a mini rant about stuff. And I'm not going to. I'm gonna keep this nice and relaxing. Because from what I did hear of what I talked about already in this video, I talked about how my voice can put people to sleep, and I don't think my voice getting very passionate about things that I'm passionate about is going to be very conducive to sleep. So I'm going to be good, and I'm going to keep my little yap shut. But yeah, this last little bit here with the landscaping, I actually do this part months after the build. Like 2 months after the build. I did this on the 2nd of January, and I won't lie to you guys, as I was getting closer towards the end, I was really getting, not over it, but I'm not very good with landscaping, I'm not very confident with it. It was just it made me feel very overwhelmed and frustrated, but I'll be honest with you guys, what we end up with, I'm kind of not mad at. I actually kind of really, really like it. So definitely let me know your thoughts down below once you see the landscaping. I mean, it's not landscaping, but the exterior, the garden area, it definitely leans into the whole rich guy vibes, I feel. Because I kind of do just cheat and put these, what are these called, hedges everywhere, and then yeah, make a big path and whatever. But I feel like this is something a rich guy would have. It's just like this really big stupid path that, like, what's the purpose of it? It just goes in a sharp circle, also known as a rectangle. But yeah, I think if I were to visit somewhere and they had a place like this, I would definitely go swimming here. I don't like swimming, I'll be real with you guys, I can't even swim. It's not my strong suit, can't do it, don't like doing it. But yeah, if I were here, I absolutely would. Absolutely would. I think it would be phenomenal to do. And I think I change this walkway around here to like a gravel, and I can imagine just, you know, walking around on the gravel and taking in the sun, breathing the fresh air, and not being on a computer all day every day. I think it would be beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and would absolutely love to be able to do that. I think it would be awfully relaxing, and definitely recommend it to people who feel a bit stressed and burnt out. I feel like maybe I would visit more than once. Again, even though I don't like swimming, and even though I'm not very confident with it, I would absolutely visit multiple times if I could. I don't think I'd want to have this in my backyard, because to have this in my backyard would mean I'd live in a ridiculously big house, and that's just not something I'm quite interested in, if I'm being perfectly candid with you guys. I would rather live somewhere that is manageable for me to clean. I don't like the idea of having strangers in my house cleaning up after me. I don't know, I've always been one to clean. I mean, that's not to say that my roommates don't clean or that I always do the cleaning, but yeah, I feel like I should be the one to always clean up after myself. I don't like the idea of leaving my mess for other people. Also, if the audio is weird again, that is because this is the 3rd time I've had to record. I think I'm definitely going to have to fix up my OBS settings. I don't know what's going on with it, but hopefully this time it actually records the full amount. So I was just trying to record 11 minutes worth of audio, and it recorded 8. I don't know if it's because I'm clicking end the recording, like stop recording, but then it'll keep going, like it's stopping, but it has not stopped the recording, but then I'll click it again, and I guess it kind of like cuts it off. So I'm going to be patient this time. But anyway, I don't even know if I've even talked about the inspiration for this build, being like a cool bathhouse that people can visit. I talked about like, I feel like everyone should be able to use this, and we can create a little schedule, and it can be public, but we'll create a little schedule so that it's not like overly used and, you know, too many people and they're frustrating and whatever, so that, you know, a handful of us can go at a time. I don't know if I've already talked about that, but if I haven't, well, that's my idea for this build. We can all share it. And if you can't share, then you don't get to go here. I built it, so I make the rules. We share here. Even though I don't want to necessarily share, even though I would like to keep this to myself, I'm going to share. I don't want to keep it all to myself. I would like it to be solely mine at times. But that's why we'll come up with a little schedule, and everyone can have their own little separate time here Maybe you do overlap with a few people here or there, but like I said before, you get to pick your own schedule, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway, we are at the end of this build. I have said this is the third time of me now saying this, but yeah, we're at the end here. If you've enjoyed my ramblings or this build, make sure to subscribe. I come out with a new video every day except the last 2 to 3 days of February, depending if it's a leap year or not. But yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.